Did you see Logan Paul's response? The drama continues. Oh God. I'll try and open up Twitter here. It really does seem like ever since he made fun of Christianity, his whole life is going downhill. Like, oh, okay, here we go. So we got the Jake Lucky tweet, and then we got the Logan Paul tweet. So I'll go over both here and then share my thoughts and opinions. So Logan Paul's pig was allegedly found abandoned in a field next to another dead pig. It was rescued by a company known as the Gentle Barn. Here's a picture of him and his pig. I bought Pearl over a year ago. I was told she was a mini pig. She is not. Well, there's a lot I could say about this. I want to read his statement too, but like, here's the reality in short form. It's not even an influencer thing, but most influencers, let alone most human beings who are pet owners, should not be pet owners, period. Why? Because they're coming at it from a place of selfishness, because they want it for their own reasons, to cuddle, to take pictures, to post on TikTok. And they're not coming at it of a place to, I want to give this animal the best life possible that it could have. And they're not taking into account that they have to do that for the next 10, 15, possibly 20 years. And this is just ignorance is not bliss. Like, come on, man, you're going to get a mini pig and you're not going to ask the breeder or the person that you're rescuing it from, depending on how he got it, like what an adult mini pig looks like. And you're not going to look into these things. Like, come on, you can't tell me you were that ignorant. But I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised, to say the least, that he didn't do any of his due diligence or research and think things through. Because again, it was motivated by his own selfish needs, which again is something that not all, but most people who get cats, dogs, fish, hamsters, pigs, that's a place of where they're coming from. They're not taking into account the requirements and attention that is needed for that animal to have the best shot at life it could possibly have. And it's unfortunate. It is unfortunate. It reminds me of, like, you know, like teenagers, like 18 and 17 and 19-year-olds that unfortunately get kids and have kids. What ends up happening is they're going out and partying, and then their parents and their grandparents are taking care of the children because they don't want the requirements of what it takes and the responsibility of what it takes to properly raise a kid. So they leave that burden. It's a burden. They leave that burden onto their parents and their grandparents. It's so unfortunate and irresponsible, and I hate it. I hate it. So introducing a newest resident to the California sanctuary, Pearl. Nice that the pig was able to get rehomed in a proper place. So the story is, she'll never be alone again. Pearl was found abandoned in a field next to another pig who had died. She came to us with tattered ears and a potentially life-threatening infection in her uterus that has since been healed. She's clearly been going through so much trauma that we can't even begin to imagine, but she's now safe with us at the Gentle Barn. From what we've been told, it's believed that she was purchased originally from a breeder by an influencer. People often buy mini pigs or teacup pigs for clout online, believing they will stay small when they inevitably grow very large and have many unexpected needs. They're sadly discarded. Yeah, that's tragic, because again, who wants a pig? Everyone wants the tiny cute pig. Everyone wants the tiny cute puppy and the tiny cute kitten. Brando, you'd be surprised at how many kittens and puppies at my rescue shelter get returned within a month. Exactly my point. It's probably because they realize the cute puppy and cute dog, and it's like a no-brainer, right? But they realize, oh my God, these animals really do require a lot of attention, and that attention requires you training them and giving them proper meals and nutritions and taking them on walks. Like, oh God, don't even get me started on the whole majority of people who have animals. This is not everyone, okay, so I'm not calling out everyone, okay, but most people who have like dogs, their idea of taking them out for a walk and getting exercise is just letting them go in their backyard for a piss and a shit and then bringing them back in the house, and that's the dog's life for the next 15 years. If you do not have time to actually properly give your dog the exercise it needs, okay, and you don't have the financial resources to expedite that process, okay, like Logan Paul could have easily expedited this process to get it rehomed properly. But again, we're going to look at his comments and see what that's all about. Maybe he did. But if you can't do it yourself and you can't expedite that process financially for someone else to do it, you shouldn't have an animal, period. You shouldn't have a dog. Shouldn't have an animal. I'm sorry. I know that might upset people, but yeah. True? You agree? You guys agree? Brando, you just called out the majority of dog owners, but not all dog owners. There's some really good dog owners that will take their dogs out for walks, and then it's like the odd time they'll let them out in the backyard. There's nothing wrong with that, okay? But again, most people get their animal from a place of selfishness and what's most convenient for them, and they'll do things when the time is fit and when it's most convenient for them, whereas they're not looking out and their motive is not necessarily for that dog, that cat, or in this instance, Logan Paul's pig. Pearl was rehomed to an amazing ranch that I visited in Santa Clarita. When I moved to Puerto Rico, I was unable to bring her to the island. She lived there happily for 10 months before the owner sold the ranch. She was rehomed without my knowledge to the farmer across the street. As far as I know, the farmer called the Gentle Barn to pick her up and denies there was a second pig. Pearl was transferred alone. This is an incredibly heartbreaking situation. I had Pearl for 2 years. I'm beyond thankful to the Great Barn for taking her in and will do whatever I need to aid in Pearl's care. I mean, that said, it is a heartbreaking situation. He had the pig for 2 years. Regardless of that, he could have easily had a team member because everyone knows he was the last big public figure to have this pig in his care. He posted her all over TikTok, Instagram, all over social media pages. Maybe not TikTok, I don't know. But he posted her on social media. So if anything were to happen to that pig when the pig is no longer in his home, he should have expedited a third party or an assistant to just follow up and make sure that the pig was always in a proper setting, a proper home, so that he would never face any backlash. Like, should have been brought to like a sanctuary where you talk to the owners of the sanctuary and you know that that pig is going to be there, going to be properly cared for the rest of its existence, so that you wouldn't have to face things in the future like all of a sudden a farm is sold, and when the farm is sold, they forgot the pig on the land, therefore the pig is stranded there, and now it's like trying to survive off the land. It's just carelessness, in my opinion. It's not Logan's responsibility at that point, Brando. The argument is saying it's no longer his responsibility. They could have done proper due diligence and proper research where they could have found an actual sanctuary instead of a ranch where they keep animals there and they've been taking care of animals for decades and eons, like this one called the Gentle Barn. Like, they could have just gone to the Gentle Barn to begin with if they had done some research. So it's a simple thing that could have totally been avoided if ignorance was not bliss, like the good old saying goes. But yeah, that's just my opinion on it. Most people just should not be pet owners to begin with. Influencers, most influencers especially, because it's probably going to be geared and motivated towards getting some TikTok likes and getting some Instagram followers. And it's just, yeah. It's so skewed. It's not motivated in a way that benefits and is highly interested to care for the life of this animal for the next 10, 15, or 20 years, however long. And yeah, that's just my thoughts on it. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Or am I just being like super combative? It makes sense? You agree? Someone disagrees? Oh God, we got somebody who disagrees. Oh, fuck. Oh God. Drama.